I am absolutely loving this month's book, which is Belonging, Remembering Ourselves Home by Toko-pa. It came as a recommendation from a recent soul circle that I was part of. But obviously I will go on to review the whole book, but I wanted to pause here as today I read chapter 8 and I wanted to be able to talk a little bit more about it. Chapter 8 is called Trekking the Creative Wild. She starts by talking about this wilderness that's inside of us, this kind of instinctual capacity that we're all born with. But as we grow and age, how it kind of becomes domesticated and we forget how to use it. And she says, to those willing to brave the unknown path, the dark thicket, a remembering of love, magic, and purpose returns. There is a wild woman under our skin who wants nothing more than to dance until her feet are sore, sing her beautiful grief into the rafters, and offer the bottomless cup of her creativity as a way of life. So she talks about then entering back into this instinctual wild through the dream time. And it's particularly synchronistic for me because just in the last couple of weeks, this card was drawn for me. Can you see? Lizard, dream time, pay attention to your dreams and visions. And actually it was reinforced just a few days later after drawing it by seeing a post on Instagram by Blissful Careers that was one of their daily posts, but was also telling me to pay attention to dreams and to maybe considering investing in a dream journal. And the next part of the chapter is called Let the Mystery Approach You. We're so caught up in day-to-day life where we want to have the answers to everything planned, everything under control. And instead, we should go with the flow and let the mystery just take us where it wants to. Another synchronistic moment. So this week I drew this card. Bobcat Spirit, Life is a Mystery, from Colette Baron Reid's Spirit Animal deck. You can't write this stuff. It just keeps on coming. And from there, the chapter goes on into creativity. My whole space, where I'm trying to be right now is to be creative, to develop things, to put myself out into the world. And it just reminds me, she talks about how creativity flows through you, which just reminds me of Elizabeth Gilbert's work on Big Magic, where she talks about catching the tiger by the tail as inspiration, as a poem or a story is flowing through you and you have to catch it before it disappears to be able to be able to put it down onto the page. Earlier in her book, in chapter 3, there's a whole section about the Death Mother. The Death Mother is a term for an energy or archetype that resents, abandons, and even wants to destroy her child. It's this thing that's inside you that kind of can give negativity to your dreams and aspirations. And within this chapter, there's a passage that says the Death Mother is always haranguing with accusations like, "Your offering is not good enough. Others have done it sooner and better than you. So don't embarrass yourself by trying." That's the kind of voice that my Death Mother has inside of me. I don't know about you. But those of us that are unable to overcome that voice inside, then you go back into hiding, you stop sharing your gifts, you perhaps let the perfectionism take over of never quite getting there. And that can be really holding you back from discovering your potential, of being able to be the person that you want to be. I've battled with perfectionism my whole life. I think as a trait actually that came from my dad. He definitely had those kind of tendencies. I would class myself now as a recovering perfectionist, but it still creeps in from time to time, even with videos like this. It takes me millions of takes to get there, to be able to produce something that I believe is a good enough quality to put out there in the world. My son wants me to go on Instagram Live to be able to just do it, to just get it out there. And I have this fear inside me I haven't yet managed to get over to kind of be able to do it. So I create these videos piece by piece, put it together, edit it until I feel like it's the slick version that I want to put out there. Within the book, it talks about the concept of wabi-sabi. Don't know if I'm quite saying that right, Japanese term. And it's got the author Richard Powell explains it as wabi-sabi nurtures all that is authentic by acknowledging three simple realities. Nothing lasts, nothing is finished, and nothing is perfect. The Buddhist approach is wonderfully respectful of darkness and the wisdom it can bring into our creativity, lives, and relationships. So maybe I need to learn a bit more from this. Embrace that nothing is finished, nothing is perfect, and just actually get on and do a live, get it out there. Let me know in the comments below if you think I should go live. What would you like to hear? What would you like to see? I'd love to hear from you. Toko-pa goes on to say that actually in life, comparison can be really important, necessary even, when we're trying to find our own voice and our own purpose. Because by looking outwards, looking at others that we see as inspirational and we aspire to be like, then we can recognize sort of traits, skills, attributes that we see in them that actually we would like to have in ourselves. And then by recognizing those things, then it's all about how do we cultivate and how do we start developing them ourselves. I see that myself this week. I've been following and looking at someone in particular, and by watching the way that he delivers, the way that he is so confident in the way that he comes across on screen, I kind of feel, yeah, I want to be like that. I want to be able to be brave and to be able to just do it. And I can overcome these things that are holding me back. Yes, it's a practice versus identifying that I have these things that perhaps I'm not so good at yet, but could be great at if I can just practice and just get over the fear. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to become what Toko-pa in the book discovers as way-showers. I'm going to be the woman that goes out there and show all you other women that yes, you can do it. You can be brave. You can take these steps. You can be creative. You can put your work out there, and who cares if it's not quite perfect, but it's good enough and it's going to inspire others. And then by doing that, you find these other women out there. Oh, it doesn't have to be women, does it? These other people that are like you and that understand and that you connect with them. And either they come along to fire and inspire the purpose that is within you, or your job, your role is to inspire and push them to do what they need to do. The book finishes with this invocation, is what she calls it, from Sedna, this character. And do you know what? At the start of our soul circle, this was the story that was told, was about Sedna. And here, this chapter that's inspired me so much today to want to share and tell you about it. This chapter finishes with Sedna's signature, an invocation you can call out to the world, and I'm going to read it to you right now. Great Ocean Mother, I call upon you to grace my shores. I make myself as still as sand, who knows the patience of millennia. Having been ground down to my essential parts, I wait my turn at the edge of known things, that you might soak me with your rising swell. I wish for nothing but to be dislodged by your power, perhaps even carried into your depths, for the chance at a glimpse of your underlife. May I be taken into your possession, even for a moment, to know the absence of my gravity and participation in your rhythms and contractions. May my body be for what it was intended, an expression of your grace. And what small ways I make with this poetry, what songs and friendships I form, what migrations and ripples I disturb in the world, May they have something of your signature on them. May the you that has touched me go on multiplying in your phenomenal mathematics until we are all suffused with awe at your vastness within us. So watch this space. There's plenty more to come, and a full review of the full book of Belonging, Remembering Ourselves Home by Toko-pa. It has inspired me this morning to do this, to be creative, to put another video out there. And I hope it inspires you. What will you do with this today?